So what happens to all those ducks that we shoot, or the ones that get away? Let's just examine this. So I'm just going to take off maximize on play and just run the program. So we should be able to see it from a wide angle point of view here. Right, I think you can see the answer is that they just go on flying away forever. Just not too serious, because at the end of the game they'll disappear anyway, but it's not really a good idea just to let things move away. It uses up computer memory and resources for one thing, so the best idea really is to destroy them as they leave the playing area. So let's just go back there and stop that game. Right, so yes, the best way of doing that would be to create a bounds. So I'm going to create a new empty object here. I'm going to call it bounds. I'm just going to turn off the sky for a minute just to see what's going on here. Right, so we've got the bounds, and essentially what I'm going to do is add from the physics 2D a box collider, and I'm going to make this surround the whole playing area. So let's expand it up. So this is the screen for Strum. And over here as well. That's a little bit bigger here because this is where the ducks are going to be spawned. So the idea is when the ducks leave this, they get detected by the collider and they get destroyed. And then the resources are freed up for use in the computer. Now I'm going to make this trigger, or this collider, a trigger. So just tick the is trigger box. Now I'm going to add a code to this. So just add a new script, and I'm going to call this destroy birds. And let's edit that script. The idea of this is very simple. We don't need any of this. We don't need an update. Delete it all. We just need to know what's going to happen when something crosses that boundary. So I'm going to put here a new function, and this is on trigger exit. We had an on trigger enter before, but now this is going to be exit, and this is in 2D physics, and it takes a collider 2D as its parameter, and I'm just going to call this other. So this is the other collider that crosses it or exits from it. Now this will destroy anything that passes it. Now I want to make sure that really we quite specific about what is actually destroyed. So I'm just going to go back to Unity, and I'm going to take this duck prefab and I'm going to tag it. So these are the tags we've got available at the moment. I'm going to add a new tag. I'm going to call this duck. So this is a new tag. I go back to the prefab, and then we're going to tag it with this new tag here. Right, so we have a way of identifying what it is now. Let's go back to the script, and then we'll make a decision. So we've got this collider which we've identified, and it's got a game object attached, and that game object has a tag. And we can examine it. So this will only happen if it's the game object that crosses out of this collider has got a tag of duck. And if it's so, then all we have to do is destroy other dot game object. And in this way, the only objects that will be destroyed are ducks. I don't think it really makes that much difference in this game because there are no other items really that are likely to cross it, but it's always a good idea to make sure of things like that. Okay, as usual, let's check the code, see if we've made any mistakes. And it appears not, so I'll stop it. And now if we go back to Unity and observe what happens when we run it. The ducks are created, and as soon as they leave, then they get destroyed. This will also catch the ducks that you do shoot. Because they get destroyed as they leave the bottom of the screen. Good.